Hey, it's Slay, and today on this Tuesday, I'm here just to give you a quick informal review of Murder on the Orient Express, because I don't have a whole lot to say, but I did watch it and I'm aware of the previous content, so I just want to do a little contextualizing and either recommend or not recommend watching it. So Murder on the Orient Express came out in 2017. It took me until now to watch it because it finally got on Netflix. It stars Johnny Depp, Willem Dafoe, Penelope Cruz, and Daisy Ridley, among many other very famous actors and actresses. It's got 6.5 out of 10 on IMDb and a 60% to 54% on Rotten Tomatoes. Murder on the Orient Express is a classic, but in case you don't already know the plot line, it's a murder mystery on a halted train. Detective Hercule Poirot has to discover who did in Mr. Ratchet in a case that grows incoincidentally linked to evil deeds and a ruined family from decades prior. I have only ever read one legitimate Agatha Christie book. It was 450 from Paddington. It was a Miss Marple case, and it was alright. Classic. Not my favorite writing style. I wasn't very engaged, although some of the wordplay was witty and the female character was strong, so that was nice, especially for its time. I have, however, played the Murder on the Orient Express PC game from 2006. I couldn't solve it as a kid, I'll admit, but I went back as an adult and I was a drunk detective and I got it. I solved it. Woohoo, go me. So I'm familiar with the narrative. And I was slightly beforehand because you can't go through English classes without learning a bit of plot lines to stories that you haven't actually read. So watching the movie, I thought the acting was well done. They each did their character's personality convincingly because they were all quite characters in the original, and they did a really good job of hitting the nail on the head for each of them. They were all very different. The movie itself held up to my standards and expectations, only leaving out one plot line, or rather twist at the end. My biggest objection to changes that the movie made was Poirot's sidekick. Antoinette in the game that I played served as a vessel for Poirot's detecting, but the sidekick or friend that they decided to have in the movie was like entirely pointless. Like he was just useless. I don't know what his function was at all. You could have took him out. So overall, my review of The Orient Express is that you should watch it if you love mysteries or are familiar with the original story. As much as you can get to the end and understand the chain of events that took place, no actual casual viewer will be able to remember the characters' names. So if you're hoping to get invested, don't. There are too many characters with alternative names and timeline-specific backstories, and none of them get quite enough screen time for it to sink in, or just in general. Murder on the Orient Express worked really well as a video game because you have to take the time to move your avatar and engage in dialogue with specific characters, read, internalize what they are saying, search for clues, add up the alibis. So if you're the one doing it, it just comes together a lot nicer. If you're just watching it play out on a screen or you miss like literally a 10-second blip of dialogue, then you kind of just end up going, oh, well, I guess that was a thing. The movie was good, but without a much longer runtime. There really wasn't room for the entire narrative to be given justice. So even though there wasn't a very big difference between the critics and the audience on Rotten Tomatoes for Murder on the Orient Express, I side with the critics at 60%, and go ahead and watch it. It's good. Entertaining. That was my quick review of a movie. I watch movies more frequently than books, so I will have a lot more of these ongoing than books. But I will try to start pertaining them to smaller clips on Tuesday and less formal content. I'll try adding several of them to one video at a time, and eventually it'll probably work out to like Tuesday movie, Friday book, or more in-depth discussion of something or other. So yeah, have a good day, and I'll see you next time.